Hello, I'm here with Marilyn Sneiderman, who is Executive Director of the Center for Innovation and Worker Organization, and she's also the Distinguished Professor of Practice of Labor Studies and Employment Relations at Rutgers University. You can find her and her institute there if you go to the Rutgers website. Marilyn is also the former National Field Mobilization Director of the AFL-CIO, and she was the National Education Director of the Teamsters Union with Ron Carey. We're really glad to have you here today with us, Marilyn, and we have two questions. This is sort of from the Wendling Cook Program in Religion and Justice. We're wondering, what is it that you're most excited about in the world of religion and labor? What's happening today that you think is cool?
It is thank you. First of all, I just want to say thanks for having me here. And I just want to say it's a really, really exciting time. I would say, although I have to admit, sometimes it's the worst of times. There's a lot of really devastating things happening globally in this world and in this country. But what I'm really focused on is the hope right now and the excitement. There's so much energy. I think workers are angry. There's a lot of focus on racial injustice, on gender justice, on climate. It's all kinds of what I call both economic issues, but that are also moral issues. And that to me is really the connection with the faith community. And I feel like what is really hopeful and exciting in the world is how many groups, organizations are aligning now, that none of us can take on kind of global capitalism and global racial capitalism by ourselves, that we need to be thinking and really approaching social change as an important moral issue, as an economic issue, as the well-being of everyday people trying to live their lives in their communities. And I just am seeing so many examples of this. And that's what's making me excited. One of the projects that we support is something called Bargaining for the Common Good, which is fundamentally unions saying, as much as we need to make sure wages and benefits are important for workers, it's the broader community. Our members are also members of their communities. And if they live in their neighborhoods, they rent their or own their homes, they go to schools, etc. It's like, how do we think about a different kind of world that we're living in and are going broader and bigger and bolder in the kind of work that's happening? And so one of the areas I'm excited about is both the activism and also the engagement of faith leaders in this work. And so, for an example, we have a national Bargaining for the Common Good Advisory Committee with some of the most progressive, exciting both union, community, racial justice leaders, all at the table strategizing together about where we're going as a movement. And at that same table is Reverend Francisco Garcia from your school, who is there bringing the faith perspective to all of this and making sure that the strategies that are happening in Tennessee or in California or in Illinois and Minnesota have clergy of all faiths right front and center in trying to build a really different world and doing this all together.
That is indeed exciting. And one might even say, you know, there's sort of all kinds of awakenings happening, you know, certainly in labor, but also in religion. And enlightened people are waking up every day, and it's whole communities. It's not just individuals anymore, but there's a movement brewing and afoot, which is exciting. So you've just talked about bargaining for the common good. I could imagine that this is a place where you could also tell us what you think still needs to be done or what is actually being done right now.
So what's exciting, and there's a whole website folks can go to on bargainingforthecommongood.org, I believe it's .org, that just highlights so many of the lessons we're learning, who's involved, and the experiments, the risks people are taking, and who's involved. And as I said, it's super exciting. And CIO, my organization, is thrilled to be part of a network that's supporting it. The truth be told, we need to bring more faith leaders. It's totally, faith leaders get this and can totally lead the way on it. But we need a whole strategy to strengthen the bonds between faith leaders who are organizing in this arena and union and community and racial justice groups, and align all of this work. So I think there's two things we need. One is to really deepen the connection and in a transformational way, not the quote unquote rent-a-caller. Quick, does anybody know a minister or a rabbi or an imam, someone who can come and speak at a rally? That's not what this is about. This is around transformational change. And so one huge need is to deepen the work, to make sure faith is central in the strategy of the work that's happening around the country. And in addition, I would say the other need we have is to make sure that this whole strategy is centered around a lot of young people and the energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm folks are bringing to this, new ideas, and making sure that it is extraordinarily both racially diverse, gender diverse, and also faith diverse at the same time. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to seed a lot of this, to see it happen, and to be blunt, to move to the side and watch and support it.
That's the good news, that all of this is bigger than us, right? We can help. We're certainly playing our own roles in it, but this is a movement. And so there's organizing happening now in the labor communities. There's organizing happening in the faith communities. This is sort of part of the work that we're doing at the Wendling Cook program, because that also has to be organized. It will not happen by itself. And so as we collaborate, I'm excited to collaborate with what you're doing with Bargaining for the Common Good, with faith communities, and the more the merrier. I think that's right. We have to. This is a coalition. This is a group. This is a solidarity that's emerging, that is multifaceted, brings many different people to the table, including a lot of young people. That is exciting.
And the alignment is what builds power.
Yeah. Well spoken as a veteran of many of these movements, and I'm excited to see you excited about the new possibilities. And I know a lot of our listeners are right there. And if you're not quite there yet, just look us up, check it out, and become part of it. So thanks so much for being with us, Marilyn, and more to come.
And thank you for all you're doing. Love your leadership and helping us move this whole transformation forward to a new promised land.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye.